One of my favorite methods for making frame and panel cabinet doors is to join the frames with pocket screws. Pocket hole joinery literally allows you to assemble frames in minutes. And then to hold the panel in place, I'll cut a rabbet on the inside of the frame using a rabbeting bit on my router. The problem here is that it creates rounded corners, so you have to either use a chisel to square them up or round over the corners of the panel, which is what I always do. The other problem is that this requires 3 tools that you might not have: a pocket hole jig, a router, and a jigsaw, although you probably already have the jigsaw. You could cut the rabbets on the table saw before assembling the frame. But that'll leave you with a visible notch on the end of the frame that doesn't look that great. Another solution is to go ahead and cut the rabbets on the table saw, then cut miter joints to conceal them. This technique is commonly used on picture frames. The problems here is that miter joints aren't all that strong without some sort of reinforcement, plus they can be kind of fussy to make and fit accurately. An elegant and super strong solution I like to use is to make half lap joints, and all you need is your table saw. A stack of dado blades will help, but as always you can cut dados and rabbets using a single blade just by making multiple passes and moving your fence over. I've installed some dado blades in my table saw along with my sacrificial fence so that I can cut a rabbet along one edge of each of these boards. Okay, now cutting the half lap joints on the ends of each of the boards can be a little bit confusing. Pay close attention to the orientation of the boards. So the first thing I did was set up a larger stack of dado blades just so I don't have to make as many passes. And I've set my rip fence over 2 inches. That's the width of one of the boards to this side of the blade. So I've got that set up. I can plow out the half laps on each end. But the thing to keep in mind is you're gonna cut them on different faces depending on whether they're the stiles or the rails. So this is one of the long pieces, the stiles. And what I don't wanna do is cut the half lap over here. I wanna actually have this rabbet along the edge facing up. Then what I'll do is I'll cut my half lap joint, and it's actually gonna cut off this rabbet so that the top of this, the half lap joint, is actually gonna be a little bit narrower than on the rails. But you'll see once I get this cut. Okay, so just to make that clear, here's the half lap joint on this side, the face side of the board, and it's narrower than this part because the rabbet that's gonna hold the panel is on this side. So just keep that in mind. It can be a little bit confusing. So I'll just continue this on the rest of the stiles. Okay, now I can cut out the half laps in the shorter pieces, the rails, and what I've done is I've moved my fence in the width of that shorter half lap that I just cut on the longer pieces. So basically it's a 1/4 inch in, and lock that down. Now when I cut these pieces, I'm gonna cut them this way with the rabbet facing down rather than up. So to recap, here's the short piece with the rabbet on the same side as the half lap, and this is the long piece, the style, with the half lap on the face side and the rabbet on the other side. So what you can see when they go together like this, that'll connect the corners, and then you've got this rabbet along the inside for the panel to drop into. And now I can glue these together. I'll cut out the door panels using 1/4 inch plywood. Hey, if you just totally geek out on learning techniques like this, you'll probably really like my online woodworking courses. Check them out over at theweekendwoodworker.com. Thanks for watching, everybody.